now, one of the most difficult, arduous tasks lays ahead. I got about 60 to 70 feet of trench I gotta dig to get conduit from the shed all the way over to the house. My back is hurting and it's tough going out there. Man, my body was not ready for this, clearly. I think I can finish this, I'm not sure. How's it going, y'all? You are watching the Green Dream Project. Now, if you're new here, my wife and I are building our own earth bag house off-grid here in the Arizona desert. Now, if you caught our last video, you know we started with the electrical in the dome. I got just about everything wired up and it's looking great. But now, one of the most difficult, arduous tasks lays ahead. Let me show you what's going on. So this right here houses all of our electrical equipment. We got our panels back over here, but over here, that's the guts of the system. This right here is where I need to go to get power to our house. One of the things I need to do is I need to kind of clean up this box a little bit. There's a circuit breaker in here we don't need. I can't do it right now because you could hear the inverter's working. We got the AC going in the trailer for crew. But maybe tomorrow morning I need to shut all this down and I'm gonna take one of these 30 amp breakers out there because we're not using it. Pull out some of the wires just to kind of clean up the box a little bit and just get this panel ready to go. And I can use one of these 30 amp breakers for the dome. That's not the hard part. The hard part is this. I got about 60 to 70 feet of trench I gotta dig to get conduit from the shed all the way over to the house. So I can run those wires in there and get the power in there. So that is going to be a lot of digging, a lot of trenching, and I gotta do all this by hand. I'm wondering how quickly I can get this done. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's got to get done. And when it does, it'll be very exciting. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is mark out a little path going from the shed over to the house. I wish I could say it's going to be a straight line, but unfortunately it's not. With the cistern walls, those got larger than we intended. So it's going to curve out a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. And I'm going to mark out this path with my trusty Matic. It's been far too long since we worked together. Me and her, we've gone through some times together. And we're gonna be working together again. You ready, baby? Let's get at it. Ah! I'm gonna do what GDP does best, and that's digging, y'all. Crew, what you doing? Can't you see what Daddy's doing? What's going on? Alright, I think he needs something, so... Crew, what is it? Little Timmy in the well? So I carved out my path and already I'm tired. Some of these parts are going to be challenging for sure. The path I carved isn't the straightest path and it's going to have some bends, but I'll have to straighten it out a little bit more. But pretty much I got it marked out. Now it'll be time to do the dirty deed and get this thing about a couple feet deep. Yeah, I know, that's a long way to go. I wonder how quickly I can do it. I'm gonna try and do a little work tonight and just keep hacking away at it little by little. Crew, you gonna help do some digging? You gonna help do some digging? Here's the taskmaster. Crew is always keeping an eye on me and making sure I keep working. Crew. Ah. Oh, yes sir, I'll get right back to work. Alright, you can see what Crew's showing you. I'm digging out quite a bit. And mostly it's just with the pickaxe. This ground is very tough to get through, and I need that in order to break the ground. But the kind of cool thing is that when I break the ground, it usually comes off in big chunks, so I can just kind of toss out the chunks, and I'm actually getting like a foot down with just a couple of swings of the pickaxe or the Matic. I guess it's maybe a Matic. I still got my work cut out for me, but I'm off to a great start. Crew, you gonna help dig? You gonna help dig, buddy? Now he's ignoring me. Okay, so obviously I'm out there busting butt, working hard. This is the way I usually start my breakfast. But it'll be much more important today since I'm gonna need that energy to keep digging. Here I start off with my coffee. Then I add in my MCT oil, which is just a bunch of fat. But it's a quick burning fat, so it allows you to fuel the body much faster. But basically it's going to be a whole lot of fat. And if you're doing this for yourself, you don't need ghee. You could use like a grass-fed butter. But this is what I like to do in the mornings, and it definitely gives a lot of energy. But you know, if you're on like a ketogenic diet. Now I'll kind of shake this up so that the ghee kind of melts in there a little bit. Now you won't be able to smell this, but it has a nice buttery smell to it. Now this isn't typical of a bulletproof coffee. Usually that's where people would end it, but I like to put in some collagen peptides for protein. Now this will add kind of like a chocolatey flavor to it. This probably would break a person's fast because it would probably add some more protein. That might bump up the blood sugar a little bit. So if you're looking to just kind of keep the blood sugar low, I would just stick with the fat. But I'm adding a little extra protein, a little extra calories. I'm gonna get buff. But a lot of nutrients, a lot of fat, good amount of protein. Just the way I like to start my day. Good stuff. Alright y'all, I'm making some really good progress out here. Of course I'd like to be done, but I'm not. I'm about halfway there. But I really got to take this area careful. I mean, you see the pipe over here? I've got this pipe running underground. You know, I don't want to swing the matic and just crack that pipe or anything like that. So I just got to take it easy, kind of dig around here a little bit. Just make sure I don't bust anything. I mean, monsoons are right around the corner. I don't want to have to go fixing this up too. So yeah, just kind of take my time and work my way around here. Alright, awesome. Now that I know exactly where the pipe is, I'll just kind of clear the dirt around here and I can keep on moving on. At least I know I'm not going to like crack it or nothing like that. So I got the trench kind of dug from one end to the other. It's fully dug, but you know, it's for sure got to get deepened. There's definitely a little bit more of a wave to this trench than I would care for. So I'm going to have to straighten that out a little bit. And then once I do that, then it's just all about getting it to the depth I need. Now I've been able to dig most of this trench by hand with just a shovel and a matic. I mean, the trench is all like dug out for sure, but it just areas need to get deeper. Now the big problem is when the trench gets closer to the house and when it gets closer to the shed. When I get over here, it's tough even for the matic to really kind of get into the ground and loosen up the soil. It's just picking at it little by little. It would take forever to hack through some of this soil. So I pulled out a tool that we've had for a long time, and I'm gonna see if this does the trick. But I haven't used it in a while, so let's see if it's still up to the job. It's a little dusty, but it looks to be in good shape. Looks like the oil is completely run out of this thing. So I'm gonna have to add some more. Problem is, not a whole lot left in this tube of actual demolition hammer oil. I picked up a similar oil, but it's meant for diesel engines. We'll try it out. Hopefully I don't break this thing. Alright, I think we're looking good. Let's give this a shot. You know, a while ago we were sent this spade bit by a viewer. Now I finally get to use it. I can't wait to see how this does. Now we're playing with power. I think this will work.
You done for the day?
I'm done for the day. And I've been digging that trench for a few days now, and my back is letting me know it is not happy. So now we got a lot of comments in our last video, questions, concerns, and stuff like that. I want to address a few of those right here, because what we're doing here is a little bit different from a conventional build. Obviously, you can see here, I'm just kind of running the wire along the bags. I did use some duct tape over here, and I kind of stopped using that toward the beginning. I went to these staples, which worked a lot better. But there's a couple reasons why we're not using conduit over here. And one of them is just conduit would be crazy expensive right now. I don't even know how much that would add extra onto this build. But if it gave us a decent amount of protection, I mean, I'd invest in that. But one of the really big problems about trying to put conduit inside of here is that we really wouldn't be able to affix the conduit to the wall in any particular fashion. But a lot of people have been bringing up, how are you going to get access to the wires? It really give you access to the wires if something went wrong. The thing about what we're doing here, and this is all going to get covered with earth eventually, is that I think it would actually give us better access to the wires if it's just covered with the with an earth and cob coating. So I think it'll be cheaper. I think it'll be almost as well protected and much more access if something does go wrong. This trench excavation has gone on much longer than anticipated. All this is probably 18 inches deep. Some of it's actually going a little deeper. But I'm getting close to the shed. But this pipe that I put in the ground here is kind of getting in my way. We don't need it anymore, so I'm probably just maybe gonna cut it. That way it'll make it a little easier to dig underneath. I put this pipe down there a little while ago as a way to get extra water into our poly tanks. But now I think when we collect water off the shed, I'll just do it in an IBC tote. And then any water from our main roof, we'll just put it into the poly tanks for the foreseeable future. All right, so I'm gonna cut this up, get this out of my way. And I'm thinking it still has water in there, so maybe if I cut this up, release the water, maybe it'll help with the dig. Awesome. Now I'll let that kind of soak in for a few minutes, and then I should be able to just kind of dig right on through here. Another observation people made is running these wires diagonally like that. In a house, you probably wouldn't want to run wires diagonally. It's going to make the wires a lot more difficult to trace. If it's too difficult to kind of figure out where it is when you're putting in nails or screws or something like that, you can hit the wiring. And I wasn't crazy about it either, but I wanted to make it as short of a run as possible and use less wire. That's not really going to be a concern anyway, because we cannot put screws and nails anywhere we want to in this. If you're going to put screws and nails or fasteners into an earth bag dome, that's got to be pre-planned ahead of time, and you have to have cleats or stuff like that to be able to put that in there. If we want to hang something, we better have had that plan in place before we even built this thing. So that's not really a concern either. One positive aspect about doing a YouTube channel is we have hours of footage. So we'll know exactly where the wiring is at all times. We can go back to there anytime. It's always a surprise what you might find in the ground while digging. Look, it's a little desert toad. Hey there. He's up a little early. The monsoon rains aren't scheduled for a little while yet. Wants to go back into his little hidey hole. Oh, is he trying to go? Oh, it's trying to go back in. Oh, it's going in.
Oh. It disappeared. It went deeper. Wait, it's coming out.
Oh, you can see it. Look at its eye popped out. It's like, what's going on? What's going on up here? What are you doing? Oh, see, now he's gonna eat the toad.
Oh, don't eat it. He's like, what are you guys?
What are you guys looking at down here?
You can't.
He only gets excited when they start moving around.
Just being nosy.
He's just being nosy.
You're being nosy. Alright, let's go with the mulch basin.
You coming in too, buddy? It's coming in hot. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Oh, I hope it's okay.
I hope so too.
Watch out for the tarantula hawks.
It's crazy how many insects come to this little tree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we had more trees out here, it'd be crazy to see what we could bring out here. What's the tea hawk doing?
It's drinking nectar.
And another comment people have made is the position of the box being upstairs. I think some people mentioned about it being kind of down below in the basement, and I thought about that too. Thing is, it would require more 90s to get it down there, and there's always the concern about, I don't think it'll ever happen, but what if water does get down there? There's that question. There's extra precautions you got to take for that. So I think this placement, one, it makes the wire run shorter, makes it a little simpler as far as all the 90s are concerned, and it'll be a little bit more protected up here and a little easier to get to if, you know, something does happen with the breakers. Another thing I wanted to bring up was a lot of people were concerned, hey, if the wiring goes wrong, there could end up being a fire and the house could burn down. The one cool thing about this house is that it is not flammable. The wiring could kind of flame up. There are some wood things in there, but the general house itself is going to be fine. I'm not saying I want there to be a fire in there, but if there is some kind of fire, it's going to be safe. This is a non-conventional house, and we're going to be doing non-conventional things in here. The wiring is not going to be conventional, but yes, there are going to be some things, of course, that we need to adhere to because we don't want wiring burning up in there. And I believe everything we're doing is going to be well. The wiring will work, the wiring will be safe, so no issues with that. So I really appreciate people taking the time to put in those observations, put in those comments. We read them all. Yeah, I appreciate people looking out for us, so thank you. All right, y'all, I'm about done with this. I've been working on this trench for days, but I got like maybe 7 feet left here of trench to kind of just dig a little deeper, and I'm good to go. I'll be honest, I'm still kind of feeling it in my back, so the mattock swings are just going to be a little shorter, a little less violent, and I just got to chip away at it slowly because I'm in a little bit of pain. My back has been killing me though. It's rough. Sometimes when I wake up, usually I feel pretty good. My muscles are relaxed and ready to go. But today I woke up sore. My back is hurting and it's tough going out there. And I only have like a little bit left. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. So close. I got maybe 4 or 5 feet left to go. I've done quite a bit of trenching out here. The last trench I did was the trench for our septic. I dug that out by hand and with the demolition hammer. Before that was the electrical line. I think that might have been about 50 feet. So this is about 70 feet. That's been rough. So of course I use the mattock a lot with dig like this. And I usually use a full force swing. It comes up and over my shoulder like that. But I've been having to kind of do smaller swings like this. Still kind of rough on the back, but not quite as bad. I think I can finish this. I'm not sure. But it's gonna be pretty slow going. Jeez. It's hurt already from just those few swings.
You want some Tiger Mom?
I can't move at all. But man, it is sore. I don't think I've ever been this sore for a while. Now we were talking about before about kind of staying in shape and how we kind of needed to keep up our physical abilities. And even though Jess and I have both been exercising a bit more lately, man, my body was not ready for this, clearly. Maybe I just gotta call it quits and give up the trench for now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you wanna like keep pushing it if you're already hurting.
The problem is I get focused on one task and then I gotta see it through to the end. That's just the way I am.
Maybe consider a short break to rest your back.
Yeah, I might. Maybe I'll work on some inside stuff. I'm going to the cool side of the dome. Well, the Tiger Balm definitely helped the back. It definitely feels a lot better than it did before. Is it perfect? No. It still hurts a bit. But I decided to get back out here and I gotta finish what I started. Or maybe it was a mistake, I don't know. Getting comfy in the dirt. Well, this is it, y'all. Just a couple more swings of the mattock and this trench is done. Whew. Telling you, it was painful, but that Tiger Balm helped me see it through. Whew. All right, y'all. Man, that trench is done. This is kind of really one of the reasons I wanted to kind of go into that health kick of like eating better and kind of working out is this very thing. I really wanted to sort of watch my nutrition, make sure I was getting losing a bunch of weight, make sure I was feeling better health-wise. I wanted to kind of get back into building up that muscle and just becoming more limber, because exactly activities like this, my back wasn't used to that kind of work again, and so my muscles were just wanted to tighten up so much. But I think a combination of the Tiger Balm and the CBD oil was a really good 1-2 punch for helping out with the back. I mean, just with the Tiger Balm, thank you Jess for applying that, by the way, helped me finish off the trench. So I hope you enjoyed the last video with the lime plaster. More plaster experiments coming up on that soon. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be jumping in here and start wiring up the receptacles and switches. So I'm expecting another order of the wire coming soon, and then I'm going to wire everything up right at the same time, so we should have power in here soon. I'm very excited. And we'll take you along too, and we'll show you how the dome does with this heat wave that we have. All right, stay tuned and we'll catch you in the next video, y'all. Bye. Crew, you gonna say bye to the people? Say bye to the people.